Hello everyone, my name is Stevie Callista and I am an astrologer. It's been a long time since I made a video on YouTube and I felt really called today as a message was coming through really strongly. So at this point in time, we are past the eclipse portals, right? We went through the new moon Libra eclipse and just recently the full moon Taurus eclipse, which ended a cycle. And I started to think about endings and new beginnings. And when you're in this, like the bridge between the end and the new, how scary it can feel. And I don't know how many people I've talked to the last few weeks, but many people have been saying that this Taurus eclipse really was a doozy. Let's say that. And I've definitely felt this in my life as well. So I wanted to come in here and just give us like a little bit of big picture perspective on where we're actually at with the cycles. And before I do that, two crystals have been coming through for me to really help this transition phase and just kind of soothe and calm my soul. And one of them is amethyst and one of them is moonstone. And both of these crystals have very soothing, nurturing, calming, grounding energies, but also make us feel kind of like at home. At least I feel that way with them. So just a side note, amethyst and moonstone of any kind and shape and size and color are your allies right now. Okay, so I just want to briefly talk about this eclipse portal that we've been in, right? So the eclipse energy is their karmic moments. They're like your destiny, your dharma, your mission, your soul is like knocking very hard at your door. And that means that there's endings and there's beginnings. And so, especially with the Taurus eclipse, Taurus energy is very much related to our security needs, our finances, what we value, our self-worth. It's very physical, very intense, right? I am a Taurus sun and moon and Mercury. And so I know this archetype very well. And when we have Taurus energy come into the collective, and right now Jupiter and Uranus are in Taurus, and they've been saying hello to a certain place in your life, depending on your chart, asking you to do some changes, asking you to grow, expand, look at bigger picture perspectives here. So when we have a Taurus eclipse, a full moon eclipse, something is illuminated in our lives that needs to go. Something needs to end. And we can all feel this eclipse very physically because it's Taurus. And it can bring up security issues. It can bring up old childhood wounding. When you have a Taurus full moon, you have a sun in Scorpio. So we had all this energy around the Scorpio. We had the sun, Mercury, and Mars in Scorpio opposite this eclipse. And so that brings up these ancestral patternings, these ancestral wounds. And I don't know about you, but I have felt them so strongly. And I've been having to remind myself that the stuff that I'm working through isn't just mine. It's like I was one of those souls that signed up to say, hey, I'm going to break these patterns. I'm going to work on my ancestry. I'm going to do it for grandma and grandpa and great-great-grandma. And I will face this. And so that's really effing scary because you're talking about generations of stuff bubbling to the surface, felt in our physical Taurus bodies, right? The earth is feeling this. And I just kind of wanted to come in here and speak about how that can be really scary. That can be because what we're facing is unknown. So when we end a chapter, sometimes with this energy abruptly, suddenly, and we're faced with like what is ahead, sometimes the ahead part is completely foggy. And I'm totally feeling this in my life where I don't know what is ahead. It's foggy, it's hazy, it feels like Neptune, it feels like, because we're creating it as we go. So on top of that, we have Saturn, and he's stationing in Pisces, right? Saturn has done this journey in Pisces, and that means that we're having to face what is reality. What does that mean? What is actually real? What do you want to be real? Where are you being disillusioned? Where do you need to take responsibility for your spiritual health? For your beliefs, for your mental health, right? For the trauma in your life. Like Saturn in Pisces is kind of an anomaly in some ways because Saturn is structure and Pisces is the great experience of everything and oneness and creativity and spirituality, and we are all one energy, right? And Saturn comes and says, well, how do we structurize this? Well, Saturn comes and asks us, Where are we disillusioned in our reality? What is our input take, right? Saturn is messing with the media. People are starting to realize that when we watch the news and that we're not really meant to take in all of this information. Where are we being disillusioned by our energy leaking? Where are we giving our energy? So this is something that's coming in really strongly with Saturn moving direct today, Saturday. And what that means is he says, hello, where do you need to take responsibility for yourself? What are the structures you need to put in place in your everyday life so that you can survive the unknown, so that you can create the new reality, even though we don't know what it is exactly. And we're all feeling this fog around what is coming. What we all know that the structures are crumbling, right? And Pluto has been really in the collective, crumbling the structures, crumbling the patriarchy, crumbling the top-down unequal leveling systems since 2008. And he's at the very last degree of Capricorn, right? He's dancing between Capricorn and Aquarius. And so we know that's coming, but we also don't know what is after that and how much power we have inside of ourselves to create our future. And so Saturn comes and says, what do you need to do to take responsibility for yourself? What are those things that you know you need to do in your life to create structure, to create security, to create grounding, to create safety? So, I could talk all day about all the things that are happening right now, but the message that's been coming in so clearly is not just the Saturn message, but the fact that it's okay to be in this unknown space and also have some faith in yourself and faith in Source, God, so that you can remember that you can create the new reality. You are the creator. That's why we're here. We're here to be in a human body and face our shadow and face our light and realize that we're both of these things and we have to integrate both of these things. And it's a lot of work sometimes. It can feel exhausting right now. You may feel exhausted. I do. You may feel burnt out. You may feel, what the F is the point? I have no say in what happens in my future. But what can you do for yourself right now? Your home, your family, yourself. Turn it inward. What can you do for yourself? Because that creates the reality for the whole collective. What we do in our homes and in our day-to-day lives creates reality for ourselves, which then creates reality for the collective. So this message is brought to you by Saturn. He usually comes in really strong in my life, but he's really strong in the collective. And I just really wanted to touch upon the Pluto cycle that we're ending right now. Since 2021, Pluto's been dancing, right? He's at the very last degrees of Capricorn. He's been there since 2008. He's been asking us, where do we give away our power? Where do we seek external authority outside of ourselves? Where are the structures and systems, the patriarchy, not working for everyone? I mean, everywhere, right? Like, these systems and structures don't work for everyone. And we're crumbling these systems. But in doing so, we're facing that we have this new reality ahead of us and we're burning it down in the beginning. And we've been doing this for a while. This doesn't just happen overnight. Pluto takes 248 years to go all the way around. He takes a very long time. He moves very slowly. And it's not until 2024, the end of 2024, that he finally moves fully into Aquarius. So he's doing this dance. Capricorn, Aquarius, old versus new. Old structures crumbling, new realities coming. And it leaves us feeling like a little bit cuckoo in our bodies. At least it does for me. Maybe you can relate to this, but I just want to kind of give you a reminder that what we're facing right now are massive endings in our own lives, in our own karma, in our own soul's journey, and new beginnings. And it means that sometimes it's not going to be clear. But what can you take responsibility for in yourself today that you know you need to take responsibility for yourself? What are the things and the structures in your life that are going to help you to pull the tools out? We need the tools. We need the breathing. We need the meditation. We need to be on the earth. We need to be grounding. We need to be eating nourishing foods. Not to like an extreme shame point where you're not doing all the things and you should be doing more. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about how do you move the needle and set yourself up for success on a day-to-day basis in small ways so that you can take responsibility for those things and build the structures that you need in your life to nourish yourself. We need to do this if we want to help the collective energy, right? We're all energy beings. We all have a huge say in what the collective energy is, even when it feels like we're helpless. So a few things that I've been doing is, because I'm a Taurus and I have a lot of earth energy in my chart, so the amethyst and moonstone have been very helpful for me. I've just literally been holding on to them, putting them in my pockets. I've been drinking electrolyte water, a lot of water, because water is really cooling. It helps me like stay hydrated in my body, it helps me stay nourished and focused. I have been being very careful with my information intake. We are not meant to hold so much information. It literally makes us short circuit. So making sure we have enough time in water, taking baths, drinking water, or going outside, breathing. I've been using my Healy. It's charging right now and I don't have it, but I've literally been running it nonstop. I've been running my Healy on me and my family nonstop. It's insanely helpful to kind of create a balance inside of my body. And if you are curious about that, send me a message and I would love to talk to you more about it, because I'm very passionate about how much the Healy has helped me and my family, especially these last few years. I have been praying a lot more. Right now is a beautiful time to set up an ancestors ritual altar, or have ritual with your ancestors to speak with them. They are cheerleading you on. They are happy you are working through some of the stuff they weren't able to work on in this life, in their life. So we really are standing on the shoulders of our ancestors, and we really are working through all of their generational patterns within ourselves and our homes. And it's sacred work. Oh my word, is it sacred? And they're here to help us. So speaking to them, making a little altar for them. They're here. The veil is thin right now, and we're working through so much of their stuff that they're here to support us, right? So working with them right now is really, really beneficial. And if you're curious, astrology has been one of the most helpful things for me in my own life to help me understand the cycles and be in the big picture. So I'm not super attached to all the little itty bitty things that are happening in my day-to-day life. I'm able to pull myself out into that observer mode and realize what the big picture is for my life or my family's life. And it's helped me stay on my path and not veer off too much. You know, of course I'm a human and I do it and my soul pushes me back, right? But if you're curious about how I can support you from an astrological lens, right? I would love to support you. It's my mission to help people understand themselves and their missions here on Earth. What are you doing here? Where did you come from? What are your gifts? What are your challenges? Who is knocking on your door right now, and what planet is knocking on your door? What are they asking of you? How do you lean into that? These tools have been absolutely game-changing in my life to help me be more in flow, find more freedom, set myself up for a more natural state of life that me personally longed for. So if you're curious about how you can create more flow in your life, how you can understand yourself better, how you can understand the cycles that you're in right now, send me a message. My website is farmhousemoon.com. You can sign up for my newsletter where I send out free astro tips. You can email me there. And I just briefly want to talk about the ways in which you can work with me. 1, we can do a one-time birth chart reading. 2, I have two different programs. So the first program is a year-long program where we meet once a month. And we basically lean into where's the new moon, where's the full moon, where's the retrogrades, what is happening in your life right now. You don't have to know anything about astrology for to work with me at all. And so in my year-long program, essentially what we'll do is we'll work with the energy for a whole year together. And then I have a 4-month program called my Soul Blueprint Alchemy program. And that one is where we work for 4 months intimately. We meet almost once a week for 4 months. We have Voxer calls together, messages together. We are very attached for 4 months, so I can really guide you into all the way in and down understanding yourself. Why are you here? How does your mind function? How does your emotional body function? Where'd you come from? What's happening to you right now in your life? And essentially that program is called the Alchemy Program because we take you from where you are now into a higher version of yourself. And I work with you and support you in calling that timeline into your life. And you walk away knowing yourself so much better than you knew yourself before. You know how to work with your energy versus fighting against it. You know where your gifts are. You know where your challenges are. It's like a deep, like a magnifying glass on all these pieces and parts of you, all the while understanding what phase of life you're in right now and how you can pull in this like higher version of yourself, right? More in flow, more free version of yourself, more at ease with yourself. And my year-long program, we certainly do that too. It's more stretched out. It's less like, let's go, let's change right now. So if you're more of a dramatic person and want that change in a quicker period of time, then my Alchemy Program is for you. And if you're more of a person that wants astrological support, or if you want to learn more of the astrology, then my year-long program is for you. And if you just want an hour-long session where we go really deep, really fast for a full hour, where we really talk about your soul's mission here and your gifts and your challenges and the phase of life that you're in, then reach out for a one-time session. I love them all. And I created my programs because I wanted to go deeper with people. So if that is of interest to you, send me a message. I would love nothing more than to support you in this crazy world that we're in right now. And I hope this video is helpful in some ways in understanding and giving yourself grace for knowing the fact that we are all crumbling the structures and systems, and we don't know how yet to create this new reality, this new age of Aquarius that we're entering into. So not only is Pluto going into Aquarius, we are also moving into the age of Aquarius from the age of Pisces. And you're talking about, a 248-year cycle with Pluto moving into a new sign, a 20-year cycle, him being in Capricorn, into a 2,000+ year cycle of going into a new age of astrology. And when you go into a new age of astrology, everything changes. Humanity completely changes. So what that looks like is up to us in a lot of ways, right? The age of Aquarius will bring a lot of new innovation and new unity consciousness, but how we get there it's rocky and turbulent. That's all I got. If you are interested in learning about what is ahead in 2024 collectively, I am doing a workshop. And this workshop is going to be on December 8th, and I believe it's going to be $11. And it's basically going to be a beautiful session where you will understand what the astrology is of 2024. And we will also be working on setting intentions for the year, and there'll be a Q&A session. And then there will also be a toolkit later down the line that you can purchase to give yourself some tools to head into 2024. So stay tuned for more information on that. I'm still forming it. And if you aren't already signed up for my newsletter, farmhousemoon.com, sign up for that, and you will get the first access into all of my new offerings. And you can also reach out to me if you are looking for any guidance. I hope this video is helpful. Please have grace and be gentle and nurturing to yourself right now, and do whatever you need to do to move the needle in your direction to stay grounded in these turbulent times. Sending love.